Not even the eye, not even. What it was for me is when he started staggering around. Our train boxes, like if any of them at the start of a round didn't have the feet underneath them, how can you send him back out there? Like, he's sending a man out who can barely stand up to go and get hit by Daniel Dubois, one of the biggest punchers in the world. It was the last couple of rounds I didn't enjoy actually, as good as it was. It started to get a bit like, what am I watching? I know he's tough and that, but it doesn't matter how tough you are. Your brain doesn't need to be getting fucking shook out like that.
Reports emerging right now are deeply concerning. People close to Fabio Wardley are being told, and medical voices are echoing this, that if he does not give himself a long, extended break from boxing, the sport may eventually make that decision for him. Anyone who watched the fight with Daniel...
Should it have been stopped? Yeah, I think so.
Who's responsible? Because it seemed like Howard Foster was thinking about it, but he didn't want to make that call.
Who said it again?
Howard Foster looked like he was thinking about it, but he didn't want to make the call.
Well, he did.
Eventually, yeah.
And then he called the doctor twice, and, you know, look... and Fabio, some of these people say it shouldn't be stopped, but that's everybody's got an opinion. But, you know, when they're in brutal fights like that, it's better to be safe.
That concern was echoed publicly by Frank Warren, who suggested the fight may have needed to be stopped earlier. Even Wardley's trainer, Ben Davison, acknowledged the difficulty of judging the exact moment to intervene. While Wardley appeared steadier after seeing the doctor late in the fight, the balance between a fighter responding and protecting them from long-term harm is razor thin.
There are some people online calling him an email champion. What's your response to them?
Yeah. Look, it's fair enough. If that's people's thoughts or opinions, whatever else, I've got no time to try and convince people otherwise. Like, I did a job against Joseph Parker. I picked Daniel as a voluntary for a reason, to again prove myself. Not that I need to, but fine, no worries. I'll tick that off, and then on the end, come the end of Saturday night, come the fight, my hand will be raised and the word paper champion will fade.
This hits harder because Wardley himself said before the fight that he believed he was already in the final third of his career. He spoke calmly about still learning, still refining his craft, despite standing at the highest level of the sport. On Saturday night in Manchester, boxing showed him a version of itself he had never experienced.
Fabio's face was a mess, the nose had gone, the eye had gone, the doctor had two good long hard looks at him, let him continue. Do you think there's a case to be made that fight should have been stopped earlier, or is it because of what we've seen Fabio do in the past, you have to give him every chance? What's your view?
Both. Fight should have been stopped earlier, but there's always that feeling of, but if we stopped the Parker fight earlier, he would have lost. If we stopped the Justin Stevens fight earlier, he would have lost. So I suppose that's how they're looking at it, but heavyweight boxing, isn't it? So one fight, one round, one punch can change anything.
I believe I heard it was quite loud in here, there's a rematch clause. Do you have any interest in seeing that running back?
I want to see it. Run it back. Why not? End of the year, they're going to obviously wait for Wardley's nose to heal up, but yeah, run it back. See what's there.
The reaction after Wardley versus Dubois was unlike a normal heavyweight title fight. The discussion was not about tactics or scorecards, but about safety. Former two-weight world champion Carl Frampton said the contest should have been stopped earlier, while respected analyst Steve Bunce questioned how much more Wardley's body could...
Should it have been stopped? Yeah, I think so.
Who's responsible? Because it seemed like Howard Foster was thinking about it, but he didn't want to make that call.
Who said it again?
Howard Foster looked like he was thinking about it, but he didn't want to make the call.
Well, he did.
Eventually, yeah.
And then he called the doctor twice, and, you know, look... And Fabio, some of these people say it shouldn't be stopped, but that's everybody's got an opinion. But, you know, when they're in brutal fights like that, it's better to be safe.
Warren later confirmed there is a rematch clause in place and praised both fighters for their heart and toughness. That is the language of a promoter eager to run it back. But the question hanging over the arena was far more serious, whether Wardley's body would ever be ready to answer that call. 6. When referee Howard Foster stopped the fight early in the 11th round, Wardley was still on his feet. His right eye was...
Was without a doubt, I mean, guts, soul, they gave everything. They did not leave anything out. And if you see in between the rounds, we got a monitor in front of us, and you're looking at the shots both of them are taking. I don't know how they did it. I take my hat off to Fabio, who's an absolute warrior, and Daniel, who's an absolute warrior, and has shown what a warrior he is.
Then it happened again in round 3. Wardley sent Dubois down once more, forcing a long count. 2 knockdowns, early rounds, championship-level power. At that moment, it looked like Wardley was on the verge of writing one of the most iconic moments in British...
Oh, Dubois down! Oh my God! A huge right hook from Fabio Wardley. He's down already. Oh my God! Wow, that's crazy! Oh, and Dubois just rugby tackled Wardley to the floor. That was crazy. Predictability with that 1-2. He's throwing the same combination every time. There's a right hand from Wardley. He shook Dubois. Dubois taking a knee. He's got him again with that right hook. Wow, that right hook is what's getting Dubois. They know there's the potential for an amazing comeback here for Fabio Wardley. Oh, Dubois rocks into disputes. Referee Howard Foster steps in and stops it. Dubois wins. It's a TKO stoppage. What a performance from Daniel Dubois. Fantastic. Absolutely deserved that, Daniel Dubois. He boxed really...
Now, the question hovering over British boxing is the physical cost of that night. Repeated head trauma, a sealed-shut eye, constant bleeding, and multiple medical checks are not things a fighter simply recovers from quickly. Those closest to Wardley are urging not just caution, but a genuinely extended break from the sport.
Fine British boxing at the minute. 2 knockout punches, it's an all British heavyweight title fight. Dubois is probably more proven. He's been heavyweight champion before. Wardley, he's now the champion. He got given the title after beating Parker. That's his chance to prove that he is, the guy. It's a real 50-50 as well.
One of the most striking moments came after the stoppage. Wardley leaned against the ropes and looked toward his family. His mother, Shawnee Lee, was there. He told her he was okay. She told him she loved him and was proud. In that exchange, you could see what the fight truly cost beyond belts or records, that Wardley's journey was never conventional. He came through white-collar boxing, community halls, and non-traditional routes. At 31, he entered the Dubois fight unbeaten, with 21 wins and 1 draw, having captured the WBO heavyweight title the previous year. That makes the damage for...
He looked big. It was the first thing I said. He looks heavy, and then it turned out it was the heaviest he's ever been. So, I mean, I'm guessing that that's probably been part of the game plan, and they want to be heavy. Potentially means, seeking destruct mode, which is kind of what he's been saying anyway all week. But he was noticeably bigger, I thought. Well, that's a good or bad thing, I'm not sure yet.
What do you think that means for the later rounds, if it indeed does get there?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's going to be harder. If you can imagine it's like having an extra 10 pounds in a backpack. It's going to be tougher, isn't it? So, it's interesting, but let's see if it's a good thing or bad thing.
The conversation right now is not about a rematch. That may come later or not at all. The conversation is about health, longevity, and responsibility. Medical professionals and experienced figures in the sport are clear. Rushing back from a night like that has ended careers and damaged lives before. When reports say Wardley needs a long time away, they mean not weeks, not months, but a true absence. The night in Manchester was not just a hard fight. It may have permanently changed.
The doctor was atrocious. That and in cahoots with Howard Foster, who should not have been allowed to. Listen, to beat a dead horse, I'm going to do it because I've had a few drinks and I really don't give a shit. How do you stop the Joseph Parker fight in favor of Fabio Wardley and not stop this one in 8, 9, 10? How do you do that? Explain it to me like I'm a child. Explain it to me like I'm a child, Howard Foster. How do you not stop this fight? That man was getting beat up, and he was getting hurt in ways that